Spanning 5 glorious years on air from 1965 to 1970, Get Smart became an indelible part of TV history. But what truly set Get Smart apart were the spontaneous moments of hilarity, the unexpected blunders, and the delightful tidbits that often lurked behind the scenes. Today, we pull back the curtain and reveal some of those hidden gems. Boat troubles. In the inaugural episode of the series, titled Mr. Big, there's a curious mistake that may have escaped the casual viewer's eye. It occurs when our beloved Max is seen on a rowboat making a call to the chief to report mission accomplished using his infamous shoe phone. Before dialing in, he removes the oars from their oarlocks. However, if you pay close attention, you'll notice a minor continuity error. During the close-up shots, the oars are visibly out of the oarlocks, yet in the subsequent long shots, they mysteriously reappear in the water, maintaining this inconsistent state for the remainder of the episode. Meaningless acronyms. Ever pondered the deeper meaning behind the acronyms control and chaos? As it turns out, they don't actually stand for anything. In the comedic universe of Get Smart, control is the U.S. government counterintelligence agency that employs our protagonist, Agent 86, Maxwell Smart. On the other hand, chaos represents the international organization of evil, constantly scheming nefarious plans that control strives to thwart. Interestingly, in a tongue-in-cheek play on corporate bureaucracy, Chaos is humorously referred to as a Delaware corporation for tax purposes within the show's narrative. Would you believe? In the third episode of the first season, entitled School Days, a slight inconsistency occurs as Max meanders through the school grounds. He approaches a man engrossed in breaking pieces of wood. The scene unfolds with the man splitting a piece of wood and then bending down to retrieve a fresh piece, inadvertently leaving one untouched on the ground. As the shot transitions, Max continues his conversation, and the man breaks another piece of wood. He then stoops down to fetch what should be the last piece. But if you cast your gaze on the ground, there's an unexpected surprise. An extra piece of wood is still left there, despite the earlier count. Down to the wire. Another amusing slip-up can be spotted in School Days. During a scene where Max finds himself the target of a throwing knife attack, one knife finds its way to the closet door. If you pay careful attention, you'll notice a minor oversight. The guiding wire used to direct the knife's path is actually clearly visible. In the Doghouse. When Mel Brooks first pitched the pilot script to ABC, the network was keen on casting Tom Poston in the lead role, being completely captivated by his performance on The Steve Allen Show. However, the executives at ABC proposed a more family-friendly ambiance for the show, suggesting the inclusion of Max's mother and a charming pet dog. These creative divergences ultimately led to Get Smart finding its home at NBC instead. Amidst these transitions, Poston was unfortunately left behind. Nevertheless, Poston didn't fade into obscurity, as he later became a cherished part of the show Newhart. Infamous for his snarkiness, Mel Brooks did end up acquiescing to the network's request for a dog. But true to his style, he introduced Fang, a scruffy and ever-growling pooch, much to the delight of the audience. Despite its less-than-conventional appearance, Fang quickly became a fan favorite, gracing the covers of numerous Get Smart comic books. But as the story goes, Agent K-13, as the dog was known, proved to be a challenging and costly character to manage, leading to his early exit from the show in its second season. Woosh. In the 13th episode of Season 3, entitled The Mysterious Dr. T, a rather amusing slip-up occurs towards the conclusion. As Siegfried, the frequent antagonist, prepares to shoot Max, observant viewers may spot yet another inconsistency that somehow got past QC. A closer inspection of the chambers of his firearm reveals a startling absence. There are no bullets. So it seems Siegfried's attempt to end Max would be nothing more than a harmless puff of air. Freeze. In the first season's 10th episode, Our Man in Leotards, an entertaining mistake can be seen towards the finale. As Max is being bestowed with an award for yet another successful mission, he inadvertently immobilizes everyone in the room. Despite this mass immobilization, viewers might notice a peculiar flub. The chief, who is supposed to be frozen in place, seemingly has a knack for teleportation as he shifts his position in each subsequent shot. Spoofs Galore. Get Smart was renowned for its unapologetic and wide-reaching satire that spared no one. Episodes like Greer Window, Bronze Finger, Tequila Mockingbird, and Die Spy served as platforms for the sitcom's humorous critique. From legendary films to renowned novels, and even its own genre competitors, all found themselves in the crosshairs of the show's delightful comedic parody. Legal problems. In a fascinating legal oversight found in the 18th episode of Season 3, titled Don't Look Back, Max finds himself erroneously convicted of first-degree murder. However, legal terminology defines first-degree murder as a premeditated act. Earlier in the episode, an imposter of Max robs a bank and in the process kills the guard, an act that is hinted to be a spur-of-the-moment decision by his accomplice's surprised compliment. Given that the court lacks evidence of premeditation in the guard's killing, it would be more plausible for Max to be charged with second-degree murder, which implies an intentional act but without prior planning. Who's Who of Hollywood. Get Smart boasted a star-studded roster of guest appearances, featuring some of the most prominent names in the entertainment industry. Among them was talk show icon Johnny Carson, who, despite having only a few acting credits outside of The Tonight Show, graced Get Smart with his presence not once but twice. He played a train conductor in Aboard the Orient Express and a King's Herald in The King Lives. The list doesn't end there, though. Other luminaries, such as Leonard Nimoy of Star Trek fame, comedy legend Carol Burnett, and TV personality Regis Philbin also made memorable guest appearances. The appeal of Get Smart was such that numerous comedians eagerly signed up for minor roles as well. A few noteworthy names include Burnett, Don Rickles, Steve Allen, Bob Hope, and Buddy Hackett. Changing teams. In the 23rd episode of Season 3, titled Run, Robot, Run, a befuddling wardrobe inconsistency arises. At a certain juncture in the episode, both competing track teams are seen wearing the same colored vests. But in other instances, the Iron Curtain team sports maroon vests, making one wonder about the peculiar color coordination choices during the episode. As it progresses, another minor blooper catches the eye. As Purvis prepares to enter the field, the scene transitions to a close-up of his face. Here, an eagle-eyed viewer might spot an unintended detail, discernible folds in the artificial sky backdrop behind Purvis, revealing a brief yet unmistakable glimpse of behind-the-scenes magic. Just in time. In the 22nd episode of Season 3, Spy, Spy, Birdie, there's an amusing discrepancy with Pfister's sense of time. As he proclaims there are 2 minutes left until world destruction, he begins his preparation. However, if you were to actually time these supposed 2 minutes with a stopwatch, you'll find the real-world time doesn't match Pfister's countdown. It seems Pfister's clock operates at an unusually accelerated pace. Taste of their own medicine. If there's one thing Get Smart was known for, it's the show's unflinching willingness to satirize just about anything and everything. But the seasoned satirists behind the series were not above being the butt of the jokes themselves. In an episode of F Troop from the first season titled Spy, Counter Spy, Counter Counter Spy, Pat Harrington Jr. portrayed B. Wise, an unmistakable spoof of Don Adams' character from Get Smart. This playful jesting comes as no surprise given the shared history between the two shows. Interestingly, earlier in his career, Don Adams was part of a comedy duo known as the Young Brothers, alongside Jay Lawrence, younger sibling of F Troop star Larry Storch. What's in a name? The enigma that is Agent 99 remains an air of mystery throughout the series. Even as he walks down the aisle to marry his partner in espionage, her real name remains a closely guarded secret. It's a tantalizing riddle fans have puzzled over for years. Now it's time to hear from you. Any of these bloopers and tidbits surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comments section below.